Namaskar. A new dawn rises in Mumbai. Bhagavad Gita, Chapter 1 The Battle Within isn't just a talk series, it's a spark of awakening. Come, laugh, reflect, and rediscover yourself with Jaya in Mumbai from 26th to 29th November. You're in Mumbai? Don't miss being there in person. Register for free now. The link is in the description box. Outside Mumbai, you can still play a vital role. Reach out to friends and family. You'll have the quiet joy of knowing you helped someone awaken. Join the WhatsApp community through the link in the description box to stay connected and inspired. Now, let us continue with Bhagavad Gita, Chapter 5.
ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः
Last time we had ended with verse 7. So verse 7 is one of those few verses in the Bhagavad Gita that encapsulates the entire spiritual path and the result. So he says Yoga Yukta means the three practices of Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga and Jnana Yoga, which are meant to reduce your vasanas, reduce your desires. So as a result of that, what happens? You become Vishuddhatma, purified soul, means no vasanas. So you reach the state where there is no ignorance. Ignorance has been removed. Ignorance means vasanas. Then you become Vijitatma. You have complete control over your mind and intellect. Today there is no control. The mind goes all over the place. Intellect also has its own avenues. Then most important, Jitendriyaha, which means you have control over your senses. Sense control does not mean sense denial. It doesn't mean that you don't enjoy the good things of life. It simply means that you are the master of that experience, not the victim. And the test of perfection is when you see yourself in all beings. This is harped upon, emphasized throughout the Bhagavad Gita, almost in every chapter it is said. And yet we don't get it. Because of these differences and the air of superiority that knowledgeable people have had, we have ruined our own culture. We have alienated our own people. So let's go back to the basics. There are three types of actions. Selfish, which means you act as per your negative vasanas. We all have negative vasanas. Negative means selfish. So all of us have selfishness in us. But when you encourage that selfishness, means you act according to your selfish vasanas, you add more vasanas to your system. So that's selfish. Unselfish means you act as per your positive vasana. So here again, all of us have positivity, right? Even the worst among us has some positive quality in us. And the way out, the way to growth is to identify your own positive qualities and act out of them. Then what happens? You become selfless, which means you remove the existing vasanas that you have. You are not acting as per your vasanas. What are you doing? Performing obligatory duty. Then you become a jnani. Though acting, you don't get tarnished by it. So it's like a human being walking on sand, you leave footprints. But a bird that flies over that sand doesn't leave footprints. So you become like that. So, having said that, now we move on with the rest of the verses. But before that, Sri Ramakrishna, in his very simple way, he used to give examples from what he saw around him. And Bengal is known for fish. And he used to live in Dakshineshwar, which is along the banks of the river Ganga. And people must have gone fishing there. So he noticed that when a fisherman cast his net, many of them have huge nets. There are 4 types of fish. One sees the net coming and quickly goes out of reach. So he's never caught. He's ever free, that fish. Then there are a small variety of fish that are a little slow. So they get caught, but they struggle and eventually they get out of that net. So they escape. The third variety is slower still. They get caught in the net, they struggle, they realize that they're caught, they struggle, but they're not able to get out. And the last, that is the majority of the fish. You know what they do? They bite the net. They're very comfortable. They don't realize that death awaits them minutes later. But that is their life. Now, after seeing that, Sri Ramakrishna derives a philosophy. He understands that among human beings also there are 4 types of people. One is the jnani, who is nitya mukta, ever free. He lives in the world, he participates in the world, he acts in the world, he has wonderful relationships with people, but is never caught. Never caught means never identifies with the world, doesn't get attached to the world, and is not affected by anything that happens in the world. This is like Krishna. He lived a life that was right from the word go, from birth onwards. He had to fight demons, he had to fight challenges, he had to do all kinds of things. But he was ever free. Then come the sannyasis, who are mukta. To a large extent, they are free from the turbulence that the world offers. The pairs of opposites in the world don't affect him because he has no desire for the world. But he is still in this third plane of consciousness with us. So he has a few desires. Desires for realization, desire for serving the Guru, desire to serve the world, unselfish, selfless desires. Then comes the yogi, who has a lot of desires, he is dependent on the world, but he has changed the direction of his pursuit. So he is a mumukshu. Mumukshu means he is craving for liberation. A lot of us may fall in that category where you realize the futility of the world, but you are helpless, you have desires for the world. But there is something in you which says there must be life beyond all this. And if you pursue that, if you allow this urge in you to blossom, Then you move to the sannyasi and jnani. And the last category is like that fish who bites the net and is comfortable. Bhogi, who has a lot of desires for the world and sense enjoyment is his mission in life. No? Oh, now the new iPhone has come, I must buy it. He sees a luxury car and says, I want to get that. And you know what the worst is? To believe that if you have a luxury car or a luxury home or any luxurious item, that your standing in society will improve. That is the most disgusting thing. Then you know you are a bhogi. See, that's the difference. A yogi understands that he needs to develop merit, and that is all that matters. You develop merit, you get it. You see what's happening in the cricketing world. Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli were dropped, or at least they opted out, and for the past couple of months, 6-7 months, they have not played cricket. And then they were selected to go to Australia. First two, Virat Kohli had scored a duck, Rohit didn't do very well. But then they came right, both of them. And if you see, if you take a look at Rohit Sharma, he's lost weight noticeably. And apparently he was working on his fitness, he was working on his skills, because see, in the world of cricket, all that matters is fitness and merit. You sharpen your skills and you're in. Doesn't matter how old you are. Like in the field of football, there are 38-year-olds who are still playing. 38 is old for any sport, right? Similarly with us, you need to develop your skills, whatever you are. If you're a lawyer, sharpen your skills. If you're a doctor, make sure your surgical skills or whatever, diagnostic skills improve. We should always be in learning mode. And then it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what car you drive. You know, you should follow it. Any time you think that your worth depends on the car you drive, look at who? Warren Buffett. He lives in the same home that he has been living in for the past 30 years, which he bought for something like $35,000. He is not in a multi-million-dollar home. He drives an ordinary car. He doesn't care what people think of him. Somebody sees him in an ordinary car and thinks he's less than what he is. He doesn't care. What does he care? He only understands the poverty of your thinking. You know? That confidence that you get. How do you develop that? When you develop merit. Similarly, in the spiritual realm, see, in the end, we are all human beings, right? What is your merit as a human being? Have you ever thought about that? How hopelessly dependent you are on the world. How every little thing that varies in the world affects you. What people say affects you. How people treat you affects you. Like I often say, there was once many years ago, I was invited to the wedding of a very affluent family daughter. And because we were close, I had decided to go to the wedding. They had come specially to invite me and all that. So there was another girl who I was sure she was also invited. So I said, "Are you going to the wedding?" She said, "I've been invited, but I'm not sure." I said, "Why?" She said, "You know, everyone will be coming in fancy cars, Mercedes and BMW and and this, that and the other. And I have an ordinary car. So I am wondering whether to go or not. So I told her, who is going to see which car you come in? Not the host, they are too busy inside. Who's going to see? Drivers, the people who have been put there for valet parking or I don't know, whatever it is. You want to impress them? That is the absurdity of the situation. And even if people see, like I told her, I also have an ordinary car. But I am not ashamed to go in it because that is my choice. Years ago, I have chosen a path where I am never going to have a luxury car. I have understood that. So that's my choice and I am happy with it. I am proud that I am an ordinary person. Also, in a country where there is still poverty, for you to run around in a Mercedes or BMW is, I don't know, one should feel a little guilty, that I am enjoying so much. What have I done? It's not about possessing the car or not possessing the car. And I am not talking about the car, anything. It could be jewelry, it could be holidays abroad, it could be anything. It's fine provided you are doing something to repay the country, the culture, the people who have contributed to your prosperity. Right? If you are not doing that and only using your income to shower luxuries on yourself, then there is something wrong. It's like a public limited company not paying dividend to its shareholders and showering all the profits on themselves. It's an unsustainable thing. So, whichever way you look at it, once you develop merit, you don't care about what the world offers you or does not offer you. You could be living in a hut, but if you are contributing to the world, you have merit. You are a brilliant mathematician. You are an outstanding surgeon, whatever it is. Who's going to look at your standard of living or what you wear or what you did? What people look at is, what do you have to contribute to society? And if you are contributing, they don't care. In fact, whatever you do then becomes fashionable, then becomes a trend. Like, khadi became a trend during the independence movement. To be called a Gandhian was considered the greatest honor, which meant what? Living a life of self-denial. Why? Because that is how you brought the British down to its knees. Boycott British goods. So, the moment you said that, all the luxury items were not available to you, including cloth, material. And that one principle of boycotting British goods brought down the entire textile industry in England. The mills in Manchester shut down because India did not buy. So this is the power that you have and you don't know it. It's not just about buying things. We are a people that have tremendous power within us because of this culture. The spirit, Atman. You look at what's happening around the world. They are trying to bully India to submission. All sorts of things are being done. They will succeed only if we allow them to, which means you stay disconnected from the culture. That is why it is so important that we stay connected, because then we will be a power that no one in the world can touch. That today we're disconnected, we're still running after Western things. We're still submissive. We're still victims in our mind. So it's all in the mind. And what the Bhagavad Gita does is strengthen the mind. It introduces us to our real identity, which is infinite power. Just that state of infinity. And then nothing in the world will affect you. Sanctions or no sanctions, tariffs or no tariffs, we will say, we'll do. It's happening as it is. Do you know that? If the US says we are not going to issue visas, fine. Who's ready? Germany, Japan, Taiwan? All these countries are there waiting for Indians to go there and work. And the salaries that the incomes that they are offering are way above what our people are earning in the US. So fine. We don't mind. You don't give us visas. We'll go elsewhere. This is the power we already have. Why do we have this? Because we have people with merit, right? We have engineers, we have doctors, we have nurses, we have teachers. Similarly, once you tap into this infinite resource of the spirit within, nothing in the world will touch. And it's the greatest tragedy in life that we ourselves don't know it. That's why I'm appealing to you. The few of us here can make a significant difference. If we do that little bit, all you have to do is stretch that little bit. What is that stretching? Like we have this Diwali offer, 3rd November, which is Monday, right? No, sorry, which is the last day? 31st October, which is day after tomorrow, is the last day, which is why we've got some of the books here. Take advantage of that. Take the books, whatever, and give it as a gift. Who knows? Somebody who is in desperate need of this knowledge, you may be lifting that person out of drowning. Drowning in what? Sorrow, depression, hopelessness. And what a gift you'll give. That person will never forget you for the rest of his life. So, and it's not just that, you're helping spread the knowledge. Even if the person that you give the book to doesn't read, somebody will pick it up. We are having lectures 26 to 29 November at Bharati Vidya Bhavan, just around the corner here. And we have the invitation cards here, right here. We have the soft copy on WhatsApp. All you have to do is today on the way out, pick up a few cards and give it out to people in your building. It doesn't cost you anything. But if all of us do our little bit and do it with that feeling that I am contributing to the revival of this knowledge in the world, not just in the country, see how good you feel. And maybe you'll be doing great service to someone, to people around you. And we're starting with chapter 1, the beginning. And it's a fabulous introduction to the entire Bhagavad Gita. You come yourself, each one of us here has the capacity to fill that auditorium. I'm not joking. One of our class members, when we had lectures at Bhaidas, I just said bring people along. And one day we noticed that of the 4 days, one day suddenly the audience increased by a good 25 people. So then he came, and the next day he came and said, you know, I invited 28 of my friends and 25 came. So that's how yesterday there were so many people in the auditorium. And I said, how did you manage that? You know what he said? I told all my friends, if you come and attend the lecture, I'll give you dinner after that. 25 people came. Now, I'm not asking you to give dinner. But just invite people. Go out, little out of your way. You go for a walk in the morning, talk to people, give the cards, WhatsApp them the invite. You have a business meeting with somebody, talk to them. You have a client meeting, talk to them. Whatever it is, wherever you go to the gym, talk to your fellow people who come to the gym. So many people we meet. If nothing else, you're traveling by train, talk to the people in your compartment. You talk to 10 people, maybe one is interested, they'll come. You know? And it's not about how many people come, even if nobody comes. You have the satisfaction that you've done your bit. When I started, I was 21 years old, I think. I used to, in those days, Nariman Point was the prime office area. I used to go to the top of a building and walk down the stairs, each floor. Go and say, this is the invitation card. It's fantastic lectures. Not mine, somebody else's. It will change your life. It's a life-changing thing. Come one day. What is the worst that will happen? 1 hour you will get bored. It's worth it. But chances are that it will be life-changing for you. And that's how, see, it's not about what happened to them. I don't know whether they came or not. I don't know what happened to them. But it helped me for sure. You know? Why? Because I did it with a service attitude. With the attitude of doing my little bit to preserve this culture of ours. And I really meant it. I did it with a missionary zeal. I didn't care what people thought. Some people thought, who is this girl? What is she doing? Some people were impressed. But that's not why I did it. So I'm asking each one of you to do whatever you can with that missionary zeal. Because whether it helps other people or not, it sure as hell will help you. Help you become a better person. So will you do that? So it's about that. This is how we move from bhogi to yogi to sannyasi, and someday you'll emerge as jnani, nitya mukta, totally free, always free. So we move now to verses 8 and 9 taken together.
नैव किञ्चित् करोमीति युक्तो मन्येत तत्त्ववेत् पश्यन् शृण्वन् स्पृशन् जिघ्रन् अश्नन् गच्छन् स्वपन् श्वसन् प्रलपन् विसृजन् गृह्णन् उन्मिषन् निमिषन्नपि इन्द्रियाणीन्द्रियार्थेषु वर्तन्त इति धारयन्.
So these two verses describe a jnani. How does he function in the world? So he enumerates the various activities, like he says, and he defines a jnani by saying tattvavit, yuktaha, the united one, yuktaha, united to what? Atman, God. Tattvavid, knower of truth. What a definition. Fantastic. Should think, I do nothing at all. So his attitude towards it is that I am not doing anything. While seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, eating, going, sleeping, breathing, speaking, letting go, grasping, opening and shutting the eyes, maintaining that the senses operate with the sense objects. So with this verse, we enter the second topic of this chapter, their approach to action. Whose approach to action? The three people, three categories of people. See, we saw four categories. Bhogi, who's going towards the world. He is not dealing with them. The three categories who are turning inward, going towards Atman, are yogi, who's at the starting point, kindergarten of life, kindergarten of spiritual life. Sannyasi, who's a postgraduate, and Jnani, who's arrived, who's merged with the truth. So here he started with the highest. This is the style of the scriptures. They always start with the best and then go down. So Tattvavid has no kartrutva bhavana or bhoktrutva bhavana. Kartrutva bhavana is doership. I am the doer, ego. Or bhoktrutva, that I am the enjoyer. Then what is his attitude towards life? Like an actor on stage. So this whole world is a fantastic stage. And you and I are actors. We all have our own little roles to play. If you understand that, the moment you wake up in the morning, understand, I am an actor playing my roles. Then what will happen? You don't get involved. Like, see what's happening in real life. Actors, Amitabh Bachchan, Shah Rukh Khan, who else? Deepika Padukone. Who's that other lady? Her favorite, Hrithik Roshan. Whoever the actor is. Okay? They play various roles. Like Amir Khan, when he was well into his 40s, played the role of a teenager, a student. Does that mean he's a student? No. The same actor can play the role of an 80-year-old. Or plays the role of a poor person in one movie, a rich person in another movie, whatever the roles are. Roles are different. Actor is one. And the roles do not impact on the actor. I believe Amitabh Bachchan is a teetotaler. He has played the role of a hopeless alcoholic in one movie. That alcoholism does not affect him. Another person may play the role of a lunatic. The mental instability of the role does not affect the actor. In another, he may play the role of a dying patient. The disease of the role does not affect the actor. So, this is objectivity, to understand that I am different from the role I am playing. But when it comes to our lives, there is no such thing. Because you've forgotten the actor completely and you got totally involved with the role. So then whatever happens in that role affects you. It is the stupidest thing we ever do. And how do we instill this objectivity? By taking one step back, not physically, mentally, intellectually, and view things as they are, because we don't even see things as they are. We've got so involved with it, like even in a discussion, you may want to say certain things to the other person. But at this point in time, you are discussing something else. So if I am objective, I will sit, wait. Till you exhaust yourself, then I'll speak. But to say no, what I want must be discussed first, it means you totally lack objectivity. And then you don't even get your point across because the other person is not open. So things like that. You don't even know when you deal with a person, when you are in a situation, you must have an objective assessment of what that situation is, right? You're talking to a client, what is his mindset? What is it that he wants? Huh? Or you are the client and you're going to, nobody understands anything. It's all about my objective in that. So there's clash between people because nobody is objective. So you must practice this objectivity. Then there will not be any collision with anybody. You go to England, any Western country, and drive a car. You're driving. Have you noticed one thing? You've all gone abroad, right? Have you noticed one thing? Nobody honks because it is not necessary to honk. Here, there is constant honking. Why? Again, same thing. I want to go ahead. There is no waiting for anybody. There's no such thing. There are no norms that we follow. There, even at an intersection where there is no signal, there is never any chaos. Why? Because the rule is unwritten rule that one car goes this way, one car goes this way. You try even in Bombay to drive without honking. It's possible. Any city in Mumbai, in India, it's constant honking. So it affects your life in so many ways. The collision, the noise, internal noise, all of this goes once you're objective. So, see, the basic difference is we are operating with the body, mind and intellect. So is the Jnani. The difference is the Jnani has the option of living in the body, mind and intellect when he wants to, when he needs to. And he has the option of withdrawing into the realm of Atman. He still has body, mind and intellect, but he is Atman. And that is the source of his energy, his power, his status. You and I have forgotten, we don't have that option. Because there is no identity, we have an identity crisis. So you are stuck with body, mind and intellect. You don't have that option. He remains with Atman. He comes into the body, mind and intellect and world only when he needs to, and then withdraws. Because you don't have that option, you suffer in the body, mind and intellect. No freedom. So, action comes from Prakriti, which means vasanas. So, why do you function in the way that you function? Because of your vasanas. You have angry vasanas, another person has musical vasanas, third person has gentle vasanas, fourth person has vicious vasanas. Right? Now, once you have these vasanas, you don't have the option of operating apart from the vasanas unless you choose to. It's like in the animal world. There is a lion, a buffalo, a pig, a horse. Each creature has its distinct nature. It does not have the freedom to act apart from its nature. So when you understand that, an animal lover loves all animals equally. It doesn't say you're ferocious, you're vicious, I don't like you. No, even that ferocious creature, even a lion or a tiger or a leopard, which will first, given a chance, devour the animal lover, he loves that creature as much as he loves a little pup, because he understands the difference that this is an animal with a certain nature. Similarly, we must understand, when dealing with human beings, you must understand, he is a fine person with certain qualities. And these qualities are some good, some bad. But what happens is, you look at only the bad and you get affected by the bad, it is impossible for you to see anything good in that person. So you know what the result is? You are victimized by that person. You no longer have the freedom to view the person as he is and say, yeah, these are the bad qualities he has, but he has certain good qualities. So let me operate through his good. Let me contact him at his good. Appeal to him in his good qualities. And it's a totally different relationship. That's what you do with your children, with your loved ones. Isn't it? Ask any mother. Don't you think your son has bad qualities? Of course. But when you think of your son, how do you think of him? You. How do you view your son? Now when I am talking to you, you look at only his good qualities. Why? Because you love him. So when you see bad qualities, what does it mean? There is no love. Therefore, the bad qualities are highlighted. Right? If there was love, you wouldn't harp on the bad qualities. So once you understand that, go back and say, what have I to do with all these people? They just happen to be there at this time, at this place, in my life, in my journey through life, which means many janmas. What is my business in life? Why was I born? What is my mission in life? Focus on that. Everything else is secondary. Whether somebody is nice to you or not, what difference does it make? Whether somebody is jealous or not, that's his problem. Let him stew in his negativity. You don't identify with it. Then you're free, then you get to that mukta state. Bit by bit, experience by experience. You focus on the experience that affects you the most. The person that affects you the most, the situation that affects you the most. Attend to it. I guarantee you, however bad the situation is, it is possible for you to reach a state where you are unaffected. Situation won't change, it remains the same. And when you remain unaffected, situation automatically changes. Because why is the situation what it is? Because you're weak. It's like when your immune system is low, immunity is low, you pick up any passing infection. Right? Then you can't blame the environment and say, in Mumbai there are too many viruses. Wherever you go there will be a virus. Your business is to develop immunity. Similarly, in the world there will be all kinds of people, all kinds of situations. You develop this internal immunity. How? Understanding, knowledge. You fix a goal for yourself You look at your own negativities. There is enough work to do within yourself. Why are you bothering with others? You have a lifetime of work trying to eliminate your own negativities, but you don't see them, unfortunately. And try and weed out these negativities bit by bit. Be aware of your present situation, how stupid you are. Because you get affected. Where your selfishness functions, where your ego functions. And an egoistic person is an object of scorn. Scorn. Because you behave stupidly. An egoistic person behaves in the most idiotic fashion. So he becomes an object of scorn. People laugh at him. But you don't realize when you are functioning like that. When you are egoistic, you don't realize. And then people laugh at you, then you say, so and so laughed at me. Or so and so made fun of me. So that's the thing. How people treat you is an indication of who you are. Even if you don't say anything. Just your body language conveys everything. So, this objectivity comes with growth. And how do you grow? How do you grow spiritually? Study the Bhagavad Gita. And I am serious. I say this almost every class. And I will continue to say this. Because that's the only way. That's the only way your mind will expand. That's the only way your intellect will get strong. That's the only way you'll cultivate higher values. How else are you going to do it? And there is no substitute for that. No amount of attending lectures, no amount of gaining knowledge from outside, watching videos and this, that. There are lots of educational videos that are there. Very good. But just doing that is not going to help. You must embark on a course of study. It's like you want to be a doctor, you have to join medical college. There's no way out. You want to be an engineer, you have to join an engineering college and go through that course. Similarly, you want to become a better person, you have to study the Bhagavad Gita whether you like it or not. When I say this, I am not just referring to the Bhagavad Gita as a text. Embark on this spiritual course. And I can't think of a better course than the Bhagavad Gita. It took Arjuna from a state of depression, inactivity where he was unable to act because of his turmoil in the mind, to a state in the 18th chapter where he says, my delusion has gone, Krishna. I now know what to do, and he fights a battle and wins it. We are all like Arjuna facing battles, not outside, inside. So, it's like when a movie is projected on a screen, within seconds you get involved with what is happening there, isn't it? You know jolly well that it's a mere projection. You go to a movie, look at the beauty of it. You pay money to go to the movie. And then in the interval you buy snacks and popcorn and this, that and the other. So average when you go to like INOX, how much do you spend? 1,000 rupees? Aram se. So you are spending your money, 1,000 rupees, to go there. For what? To get affected. So if there is a tragedy going on there, you cry. You feel bad. If there's a horror movie going on, you're jumping out of your seat. If there's a comedy going on, you're laughing. If there's an inspiring movie, like this, the one I saw once, about this at a Formula One racer. Then you come back with inspiration. That is why it's so important to watch positive things, because you get affected by it. But you know deep down that it's not for real, yet you get affected. How will you not get affected in the world where it's like a 3D projection? And you've seen that projection from day one, from the time you were born. Very difficult. So, a jnani's attitude to action is I do nothing at all, because he is identified with Atman. What a state that is. You must at least visualize that, and try and capture it intellectually. How wonderful it must be that he goes through life like you watching a movie. I can't even say that because you get involved in the movie. Next, 10. He moves now from the jnani to a sannyasi.
ब्रह्मण्याधाय कर्माणि सङ्गं त्यक्त्वा करोति यः लिप्यते न स पापेन पद्मपत्रमिवाम्भसा.
See how here is a person who's not yet merged with Atman, yet the very first word of this verse begins with Brahmani, means in Brahman. One who acts without attachment, dedicating actions to Brahman, is not tarnished by sin, like a lotus leaf by water. That's a brilliant example he gives. So, a lotus leaf is born in the mud, dirty water. Right through its life, it lives in that water and it dies in the water. But never does it get wet. Do you know that? Why? Because there's a greasy surface. So, a sannyasi is like that. He lives in the world, he's born in the world, he dies in the world, but never is he affected by what's happening in the world because he is not attached. And this detachment is what saves him. We live in life like blotting paper. You know what blotting paper is? Nowadays people don't know. We used to use pens with ink, and it was necessary to use blotting paper because sometimes too much ink would come, and you use that blotting paper, it absorbs all that ink. The nature of blotting paper is like that, it absorbs everything. We are like that. Wherever you go, whatever you do, you get stuck. It's like super glue. Have you worked with it? There's a little tube. Even a drop comes out, it gets stuck by mistake. It is impossible to remove it. How you should live life is like post-it notes. Have you used post-it notes? It's a fantastic invention and it's so useful because it sticks as long as you need it to stick. When you no longer need it, you just take it out, it comes out neat and clean without tearing the paper or tearing whatever it is that you used. You should live life like that. It's a perfect example where you live in a certain environment, you work in a certain environment, you are engaged in it, you give of yourself to it, whether it's a relationship or family or work or anything. You give your best and you work with your heart and soul. But once you're done, you're out of it, neat and clean. You're not attached to it. Why are you not attached? That is the most important thing. Why are you not attached? Are? Huh? Because you are attached to the higher. This is something that we have to remember all the time. Now, to get attached to the higher, you must have some concept of the higher, right? You must have a feeling for the higher. The higher must be sacred to you. Only then you get attached to it. So, technically, how is attachment born? How do you get attached to anything or anybody? Constant thinking. Now today, what are you constantly thinking of? Money, position, car, honor, dishonor, how people think of you, things like that. So that is where you will be in the kichad. You live life like a blotting paper. It is kichad. You are smiling, but it is that. So what you must do is understand the nature of the world. It is futile to chase after anything in the world. You know why? Because there is never any satisfaction there. You will never be satisfied. Examine yourself. You buy a new object. You're after senses, right? Whatever it is, you buy a new dress, a new shirt, a new gadget. There are people who are gadget crazy. You buy a new home, a new car. For how long are you excited about it? Huh?
Immediately as we purchase, we use that.
Till you bring it home. The moment you bring it home, what happens? Just you get deflated. Think. You buy a new home. You know why you get deflated? Because you move on to the next thing. I've bought a new home. Now what next? I need to decorate it. I need to buy furniture, curtains, bed sheets. It is endless. Car. You buy a new car. Immediately, where do I park it? You must think of parking before you buy the car. Then, who's going to drive it? You know, the fancier the car you buy, the more important it is that you find a fancy driver to drive it. Because otherwise you can't. You know, I know a person who's bought a Mercedes. He doesn't have a driver to drive the Mercedes. So now without a driver, where are you going to drive? Very few places you can go to. So net result is the Mercedes is parked in the garage and his driver who can drive an ordinary car, small car, he is going around in that small car. Then what have you spent all that money for? To keep it in the garage? This is crazy. And it's never ending. Then you say, okay, I've bought a fancy car. Now I have to have clothes to match that car. Right? You can't go like the way I'm dressed in a Mercedes. It's a mismatch. And then you say, I need a, what is that? Branded bag. I need jewelry to match with that. Then I need a person who is worthy of that Mercedes to go around with me. Isn't it? I need a partner. Without a partner, what is no use? It is never ending. So, once you understand the futility of sense indulgence, then you move higher, you move to the emotional, intellectual, spiritual, and you become free from these desires. Yeah? Then what happens? You know, the beauty of it is, you give up a desire, the object of desire comes to you. The best things in the world come to you without your seeking it, without your wanting it. And that's the best way to live life, right? And even if it doesn't come to you, it doesn't matter to you. Like, look at realized people. There was a Sudama who lived in poverty all his life. He didn't care. It didn't matter to him. There was a Janaka who lived in the lap of luxury. That didn't matter to him. And all the people in between. There was a Sri Ramakrishna who did not leave the temple premises where he lived. He did not step out of it his entire life. What a man. And his disciple Swami Vivekananda went around the whole world talking about Vedanta. So it doesn't matter what you do. That he didn't leave his ashram didn't bother him. That he traveled all over didn't bother him. So that's how you should live life. Otherwise it's a mug's game. It is a never-ending, futile exercise. And you think this is the end. If only I get this, then I'll be happy. No, you get it and it just moves. You know, the goal is not fixed. In the world, worldly goals are not fixed. It keeps changing. And you don't know it. You think this is it, you attain it, the goal is shifted. And the more you try and capture it, the more it eludes your grasp. Till you die. Then you're born again. Again, same thing. Aneka janma samprapta. Janma after janma, life after life, you keep doing it. At any point, stop yourself, turn right about turn. Look within, you've got it. Even if you don't reach realization, at least there is some peace because you've understood the futility of outward pursuits. If you achieve that, you are a person to reckon with, you know, then nobody can buy you up. You're not up for sale. As long as you're moving outward, you're up for sale. There's a price tag on it. It's a question of how high the price is. Some people can be bought for $500. Like you go to a resort, or we were discussing this morning. You give a person a tip, a 100-rupee tip, he'll do things for you. So that's one level. Then there are people who are up for sale for crores. But you're up for sale. That's the thing. But to reach a state where you cannot be bought, there is no price on your head, that is a person of outstanding caliber. So at least get there. So here is a person whose complete focus is on how to get to Brahman. I just want to get to that state where I'm free. And you are unaffected. It's like in the relative you'll understand. An athlete, all he wants is the Olympic gold. So that is where his focus is. And he does everything just to get that. Including every meal I eat, every breath I take, every person I interact with, my number of hours I sleep, number of hours I am awake, which muscle needs to be strengthened, everything. What I drink, what I eat, everything is geared to the Olympic gold. Similarly, here is a person who thinks of Atman all the time, and the closest equivalent to that is the yearning that a lover has to just meet with the beloved. That's the closest. So the intensity of feeling that you have for the union and the pain of being separate. Swami Ramatirtha See, he was an out and out intellectual, but he expresses this. He says, there were nights when he couldn't sleep at the thought of being separate from God, and his pillow would be wet with tears when he woke up. Can you imagine how intensely he wanted that? So unless you have that, you don't achieve it. It's like a guy who wants to win the Wimbledon at any cost. A simple thing like that movie, Kaun Praveen Tambe, right? All he wanted was to play in the Ranji Trophy, not even do well, just play. Superbly done. And it's so funny at times, his focus led him to such funny situations. He met the girl that he was supposed to marry, that arranged marriage, they met, and all he could speak of was cricket. The girl must have thought he was mad, but something about him attracted her and she married him. That's what it is. That purity of heart comes when you're focused and there's one thing that you want in life. Amazing. So even if it is a worldly goal, we Indians, we don't even know what that is. Which people, achievers have. Nadal thought only of tennis, nothing else. Sachin Tendulkar thought only of cricket, nothing else. If it shifts slightly also, you're gone. So is there something in the world that you want, that your goal has been fixed? There is that fixation of thought. I want to get married. What will happen if I don't get married? You'll be free, you'll be happy. That's all there is. I want this. When you think back into your life, all the problems that seemed insurmountable get sorted out, solved without your even knowing it, isn't it? All you have to do is fix your attention on something you want to achieve beyond yourself. Everything sorts itself out. You get stuck anywhere, you remain there. That's what I keep telling people. Ordinary people also. This is a person who comes to clean your home. You have to tell, do your job well. Have some sanctity for whatever it is that you're doing. Then you'll move up. But if you think, I'll do the least possible, earn maximum possible, it's not going to work. I went to Pune recently because I had some work. I went to someone's home and she was telling me about the architect, a young girl, who helped them build the place and to the interior designing also. And she was saying, this girl is a perfectionist. 1 inch here and there she would not allow. But the net result is fantastic. So that is the level of dedication you must have to whatever it is that you do. Whether it's carpentry or tailor or whatever it is. You can't do a slipshod job and expect that the world will accept it. It's not going to work. So, and then the important thing is you do your best. Don't worry about the result. Why? For the simple reason that you've already got the result. What is the result? You've become free from the vasana, desire. And you have a sense of fulfillment, a satisfaction that I've done my best. That is called what is the Sanskrit term for it? Kritakritya and Kritartha. Kritakritya means what had to be done has been done. It's not that I have done it, then it's egoistic. What had to be achieved has been achieved. And as a result of that, Kritartha is fulfillment. That you feel when you've done it to the best of your ability, whatever it is, even if it is making a cup of tea for someone. You do it wholeheartedly and wow, you feel like a king at the end of it. But it's all, whatever we do is half-hearted. What will he do for me? What is the use? All this goes on in your mind, and so whatever you do is half-hearted. So the message between today and next week we're meeting, right? Whatever you do, do it wholeheartedly. Including, and do your little bit.